And this should be fairly straightforward. I don't think you'll find this too hard, I don't think.
So use the graph to determine the break even. Okay, how many bottles? 5?
Yes. How did you get 5? Because it's basically where the
lines intersect.
Yeah. It's just there, right?
Write an equation to describe the relationship. Okay.
Whoops.
Income would be I.
Yep.
What's the
So you need I and you need
and number of bottles.
B, yeah. Okay. So how would you work out the income from the number of bottles?
The gradient.
Yes. What would the gradient be?
You rise over run.
Yeah, so rise over run.
Do you just pick 2 points?
Yep. Probably choose the break-even point.
Okay, yeah.
As one of the points. So what would be the rise?
1.
Yeah, so so what would be the rise? So in other words, we're going up. What would that rise be?
Up 1. Are you talking as pick the 2 points along the line from the origin?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically we're starting from the origin for the income.
Yeah.
We're going up to the break-even point.
Yeah.
So what's the
100?
Yep. So the rise is 100.
100 over 5.
Yep, which is
20.
Yep. So
I equals 20B.
Yep. So what does that tell us? What's that represent?
The income equals, it costs $20 for each bottle.
Oh, that's bingo. Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Yes.
What does the gradient tell us? Well, it tells us that each bottle is $20.
Then you go, 20 times N.
Yeah.
And then the other one.
Yeah. Now, can I just change this I?
Sure.
To a D?
Sure.
Now, why might I be changing it to a D? D for?
D?
Yeah. Look at the graph.
Dollars.
Yeah, D for dollars?
Yeah.
I'd be changing it for D for dollars.
Do you know that's what unit's in?
Yes. But if I used I, what would be the problem of using I? See if you can...
You might think it's a 1.
Possibly. Yeah. That's the reason why I use I is that if you're using I for income, but then for this line you're using C for cost.
Yeah.
Yep. Then you've got you're actually trying to compare dollars. The break-even point is when the D's are going to be equal, right? But if the break-even point is when I equals to C, right? Let me
I don't understand.
Yeah, let me explain it this way. When you usually have 2 equations, right? Remember in the last equation, A plus B is 70, and it was also 2A equals to 3B.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when we've got those 2 simultaneous equations, how many variables did we have? How many pronumeraries?
2.
Yeah, we had the A and we had the B. Got it?
Yeah.
Which makes it easier to work out the solution. Got it?
Oh, for the X and Y.
That's right.
Right.
Whereas if we used I equals to 20B.
Yeah, and the X and Y says dollars and bottles.
Yep. Whereas for this equation, instead of using I for income, we use cost equals to, you know, something B plus something. See how these two letters aren't the same anymore? These two letters are the same. These two letters aren't.
Yeah, okay. So change the income
to dollars and change the cost to dollars.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So we want this to be dollars equals to 20B, 20 bottles, and that's this equation. So how would we work out this equation, the equation for cost?
So the intercept is 50, so it's plus 50.
Yep. So let's do this. Y equals to mx plus b, and we've just worked out which letter?
The B.
Yep, and that's going to be
50.
Yep.
And then the 10 will be from the 50. Wait, I just confused myself. Okay, so now we're working out the gradient. So it'll be from the 50 to 100.
Yep.
So 100 over 50.
So M is equal to rise, which is?
Rise is the 50.
Yep.
Sorry, 100.
No, well, in this situation, your rise is from 50
Oh, okay. It's from 50 to 100, so 50.
Yep.
And then the run is 5.
Yes, that's right.
So 50 is 10.
10, good.
So then, are we doing?
So Y equals to 10x plus 50?
Yep.
But what letter are we going to be using for Y, and what letter are we going to be using for X?
Well, it was cost.
Yep.
But we're doing I.
So.
Oh no, dollars.
Yes. D. Yes. D.
Equals 10B.
Yep.
Plus 50.
Yes, that's right.
So the cost in dollars, it equals $10 per bottle, and then plus 50 for whatever the reason is.
For what?
For the initial startup cost.
Yeah, the setup costs. Good. So you've got, so what are we doing? Where are we? So our first equation was D equals to, so that's this equation here. D equals to?
The first one?
Yep.
What did we say, 20B?
Yep. And our second equation?
Was the D equals 10B plus 50.
That's right. Got it?
Yeah.
And where is the break-even point? When
at
B
5
equals to 5, and when D equals to?
When D equals to 100.
Good, right? So what does that 5 represent?
How many bottles they need to sell
before
they gain profit.
That's right. Okay. And what does the 100 represent?
The startup costs? Oh no. How much it costs them, or how much money they get from that 5 bottles.
Yep. So they need to make $100.
Yeah.
Make $100 before they start making a profit.
Okay.
So
they need to sell 5, but they need to make 100.
Yeah. Okay. So they're not making any money until they sell $100 worth of bottles. Yeah.
Cool.
Got it?
Yep, got it.
Awesome. It takes a little while to wrap your head around this, right?
Yeah. Okay, so.
But once you've got it, I think it's good. Can I suggest that with simultaneous equations, the important thing, not the important thing, where you can focus on to make the most difference for you.
Yes.
Is number one, rearranging.
Yeah.
Linear equations.
Yeah.
To y equals to mx plus b form.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, that's the first thing. And then second thing is
make the same polynomial.
Yeah, finding the graph from the equation and finding the equation
from the graph.
Yep. I think if you can do those things, most of the other stuff will come in. Like the rest of simultaneous equations is going to be not as hard.
Yeah.
And basically do those two things. Focus on those two things.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
To rearrange it so it's in the y mx plus b and keep it in the same subject.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
So making sure that if you, for example, if you saw this 3x plus 2y equals to 40, right? You will need to be able to put that into this form. Okay.
Y equals mx plus b.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's where you could do with a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
And then the other one is now that you've got it in y equals mx plus b, just putting it into the, like turning it into a graph. And then,
graphing it up.
Yeah, graphing it up. And
then once you find the equation,
yeah,
and then you graph it up, they're just going to ask you questions on the graph, and
that's right.
You can interpret it.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's basically where the point of intersection is.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I really ask.
That. Yep. I'll just I might just redo that again today.
Yeah.
What chapter was that?
Chapter number 5.
5. Perfect.